Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to talk about historical topics on the CFE from 2015 to 2021. Specifically, we're going to talk about managerial accounting on day 3. Then we're going to talk about how candidates performed, and then lastly, how to solve the most frequently tested problems. If you like what you see, please consider to subscribe and give this video a thumbs up. So the overview for today is that we're going to look at what has been tested for managerial accounting on day 3 of the CFE, what candidates got on the day 3 of the CFE, and then solving the most frequently tested managerial accounting topics on day 3 of the CFE. On this slide, you could see all the tested managerial topics for day 3 of the exam. The first 3 heavily tested topics are profitability analysis, which is normally calculating your revenue minus your costs, cash flow analysis, and make versus buy analysis. If you've seen my previous video on the finance day 3 topics, you might ask, why is the cash flow analysis and make versus buy analysis on managerial accounting topics? Because you've also seen it on the finance topics. The reason is because these two topics kind of can go interchangeably between managerial accounting and finance. It really just depends on that year how many managerial topics or finance topics they wanted to include, and if they didn't have enough, they could always throw these two in and call it either managerial or finance. If you're looking to learn to solve those two topics, make sure you check out my finance videos, as I've already solved them there. The rest of the topics that you see on the slide only come out once or twice, so they might not be heavily tested. I'd recommend that you review them lightly if you don't already know them. As you can see, in 2015, there was a lot of managerial topics that were being tested. A key thing to note on this exam was that every time there was a quantitative analysis, there's also a qualitative analysis. So make sure that when you discuss about your numbers, you talk about all the other qualitative factors, such as the pros and cons of the decision. When you look at the results comparing the qualitative versus quantitative analysis, you could see that most of the time it seems like candidates did better on the quants than on the qualitative analysis. So don't fall into the trap of always trying to perfect your numbers and neglect the qualitative analysis. In 2016, you could see how CPAs scaled back on how many managerial topics they wanted to ask candidates, and you can expect this going forward. Maybe because in 2015 it was the first year they had the CFE, so they were trying to figure out what to do. Something to note here is that many candidates in 2016 didn't get competent on their make versus buy discussion, and that's very unfortunate because normally that's a fairly simple topic that candidates should know. If you're not sure how to solve this, make sure you check out my video on how to solve a make versus buy analysis. In 2017, you could see that candidates did fairly well in getting depth on their first and second case of day 3. However, on their third case, candidates didn't perform as well. The main reason could have been because it's the third case, people ran out of time, and they couldn't finish. So now let's look at what the Board of Examiners said for this exam. If you're not sure who the Board of Examiners are, they're essentially the marking body for the exam, and they provide commentary. I provided a link below in the description on where to download these Board of Examiner reports. So in 2017, you can see that many candidates didn't do well on determining the variance analysis. The situation was that one company wanted to know why one division was doing better than the other. Many candidates did a lot of calculations, but they didn't take a step back to determine the management decision that caused the numbers to go down. In addition, weak candidates didn't do enough variance analysis to explain what this meant for the company. In 2018, you could see how candidates again struggled to get depth on their day 3 case, especially when it came down to the break-even analysis. The break-even analysis is a very common topic that is tested for managerial accounting, so I recommend everyone to make sure they know how to calculate it. If you don't know the formula, I put it at the bottom of the slide so you can remember. To calculate the break-even analysis, you need to first calculate your contribution margin, which is your selling price of a unit minus the variable cost per unit. It seems like a simple equation, but weak candidates weren't able to correctly allocate their variable and fixed costs to be able to calculate the contribution margin, and in the end, couldn't calculate the break-even point. So make sure you know that the variable cost is something that fluctuates as you sell more or less products, whereas the fixed cost doesn't change depending on how many units you sell. In 2019, candidates didn't perform fairly well, but you could see that there's the consistent topics that comes out over and over again. For example, pricing options and variance analysis. To give some hope for people studying for their exam, if you think about it, only half the candidates got competent on their depth for managerial accounting in day 3, but overall 80% of them still passed the CFE. As you can see in this year, candidates, again, weren't able to get enough depth on the managerial accounting topics. So don't worry if you're one of these candidates as you're preparing for the exam and you couldn't get enough C's in this area as well. In the May 2021 CFE, this was probably the worst year yet for candidates in terms of getting depth on their Day 3 managerial accounting, as the highest was only 50% when you add up the C and CD. In addition, unlike the other years, there was only 2 cases instead of 3 cases that had managerial accounting on them. Now let's look at what the Board of Examiners said for this AO. Apparently, it was a hidden AO, so it wasn't specifically called out, which could explain the high number of NCs. In this AO, you needed to compare 2 options. Weak candidates did not understand the constraints in the case and were unable to calculate the contribution margin. Again, you could see how the contribution margin is a key concept in managerial accounting, so make sure you know how to calculate it. The goal of this AO was to calculate the opportunity cost, and in other words, the opportunity lost in pursuing one option versus another. Thanks again for watching my video. If you want to learn how to solve the most common managerial accounting topics tested on the Day 3, please click the video on the left. If you want to learn about other historical Day 3 topics, please click the video on the right. If you liked what you saw, please subscribe to the channel and give this video a thumbs up. If you have any questions or comments, please let me know below.